The other side of me that's very Chinese, I think, is really my work ethic. My work ethic is, well, I work all the time, and I'm devoted to my work, absolutely devoted to my work. And that to me was something that I grew up with. Taiwan is very hardworking. I mean, in a rainy day, you still see street vendors setting up, right? And that takes dedication. So I think in that way, in that sense, I applied that kind of work ethic to what I do. And that's why we've been able to accomplish so much in a short period of time. Hello, Taiwan. My name is Jason Wu, and I'm really happy to be back in Taiwan. Come join me as I share my word with you here on TVBS.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Relax.
Thank you.
Welcome. It's so good to see you here back in Taiwan in our studio.
Thank you. Thank you.
It has been how many years? At least 5 or 6 years?
4 years.
4 years since last time you were in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Wow.
So different.
So different.
Completely different.
So in recent days, you have more chances to brush up on your Mandarin, Chinese.
一点点.
一点点啊. How about say hello to our audience in Chinese?
Hello, Taiwan. 很高兴可以回来台湾.
Yeah, well, a lot of my colleagues and my friends told me before we take this interview this morning, saying that, hey, we feel Jason speaks fluent Chinese when we saw him, met our president Ma Ying-jeou on screen.
Right. Well, my vocabulary is maybe like 3rd grade level, because I left Taiwan when I was in 3rd grade. So
in 3rd grade.
Now, I feel like for my interview, I can express myself more properly in English.
Yeah, same as my English, so let's help each other
Let's
during
help
the
each
interview.
Other. Yes.
Yeah, first let's take a look at what we can see on screen. I would say that beautiful evening gown. Would you say that the inaugural night changed your life?
Yeah, it definitely changed my life. I mean, it changed my life in so many ways. It showcased my work to a whole international platform, which is well, it's once in a lifetime, and I never thought something like that big would happen to me. And more so than that, my dress is part of the Smithsonian Museum, and it's part of history, part of American history, and part of history of our times. And I think the dress will actually outlive me. So that's something that any designer would be so proud to have.
How did you really feel when your design became part of American history at this young age?
I really was so astonished. I mean, I didn't even know how to feel.
Really?
First 24 hours,
So far, still?
I mean, I just, to me, the experience was so much bigger than me. I mean, to me, I was only a small part of something that was quite extraordinary.
You are very humble. Yeah, we all know that, you were so astonished to see the live coverage in that inaugural night.
Yes.
I know that was the time when you were having pizza, relaxed at home.
I was at home, and I didn't really realize, and to me, it was the best kind of surprise there is, and something that's truly life-changing.
So actually, you had totally no idea that how many candidate aspirants would provide their design to Michelle Obama, and you don't even know that if she would choose yours or not.
I still have no idea how many candidates there were.
Okay.
I'm still in awe that it was me. And, since that's happened, I really, really worked hard to prove myself to be a better designer and to improve and, to really stand up and be a better person and a better designer since all of that happened.
How much time and efforts you put into making this beautiful evening gown? Can you tell us
Yeah,
details?
I mean, over the period 2 months, I really took a lot of time with my team. We're sewing little crystals on the dress, and it was really a labor of love. And to the moment I delivered the dress by hand when I flew myself to Chicago, it was something that, was really, truly a project that we dedicated ourselves in for 2 months.
Wow, so many parts of this dress was done handmade.
Handmade, yes.
Wow, so how many hours you've been?
We lost count of how many hours.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. How about another evening dress? I don't know if it's a dress or evening dress you gave to our First Lady, Zhou Meiqing. Where did you get the idea of her style?
I did not meet her yesterday. I only met President Ma. I was very, very fortunate. So, I look forward to meeting her in the future so that, we can, get to know each other better.
Okay. So now, along with our audience, let's watch the story covered by our senior correspondent Francis Fan Qifei in New York. Introduce our audience Jason's achievement in the highly competitive fashion industry.
在后台，吴继刚在工作人员及模特儿之间穿梭。他在今年纽约时装周最新的时装秀即将要展开，他仔细地检视最后装扮的情形。
Is she okay?
Yeah, it was just something from the makeup. We're taking care.
吴继刚也许忙碌，神情却是从容的。他与助理们交换意见，与记者们亲切问候。1个小时后，伸展台上的灯光大亮，在众人的引颈期盼中，这场今年在纽约时装周里备受瞩目的新装展示终于开始了。2年前，吴继刚同样在纽约时装周展出作品时，虽然一些专业时装杂志已经颇有好评，但大家对吴继刚并不熟悉。一直到美国现任总统夫人蜜雪儿·奥巴马在就职典礼上穿了吴继刚设计的礼服，吴继刚顿时成为在美国时装界一个人人朗朗上口的名字。TVBS 在隔天访问吴继刚时，他还非常的兴奋。
感觉很兴奋，立刻打电话给我妈妈，在台湾，他们已经看到了。就是为什么这2个月都不能跟你讲话？因为I was afraid my mom would ask.
The President of the United States and First Lady Michelle Obama.
在为蜜雪儿设计服装时，吴继刚从未见过蜜雪儿本人，只能从照片中去揣摩。一直到今年3月，当史密斯松林博物馆为了将这件礼服收入馆藏时，办了一个仪式，邀请2人与会，吴继刚才终于见到了他的贵人。
She's so smart and she's not only stylish, but somebody you really want to look up to because she has that air of confidence and an intelligence about her that I really look up to. 但还不到2年的时间，吴继刚已经远远脱离了蜜雪儿的光环。这中间，吴继刚获得了许多时装界的大奖，包括今年6月获得有时装界奥斯卡之称的 CFDA 颁发的 Swarovski 女装奖。这个奖历来都是颁给最有潜力的新秀。短短2年时间内，吴继刚已成了美国时装界的当红炸子鸡。
If you're ambitious and you have something to say, I don't really think age matters so much anymore. There's a wave of people like him in New York who are transforming American fashion.
对这些挑剔的时装专家们而言，吴继刚的作品最让他们惊喜的是，吴继刚这么年轻却坚持古典传统的路线，在纽约常见的天马行空中独树一格。
He reaches so far beyond his years. There's a sense of classicism that you would expect to see in someone who's been around for much longer. So he's doing a very elegant, grown-up kind of look. He's not dressing for downtown party girls.
A classic piece can take you for many years. I mean, a great skirt, a great jacket, you could wear it for many years to come. And that's what I want to do with my clothes, is that I don't want it to become a season thing.
在2011年的春装设计上，我们就看到吴继刚充分发挥了他典雅的风格及在细节上的注重。吴继刚在每一个扣子、每个缝线上的挑剔，已经为他在纽约赢得了完美主义的名声。换个通俗点的说法，就是龟毛。讲到这一点，吴继刚的妈妈陈美云还挺得意，认为是从小累积的基本功。
学5年级的时候，我请了一个专业设计师教他，老师就开始教他缝纫。可是那一段时间是他非常辛苦的一段，因为缝纫对他一个小小的那个人来讲，不是那么容易的事情。他好几次都做那个动作，做到最后就想要哭了。
小学5年级的吴继刚就知道要咬着牙撑下去，才有今天时装界一颗闪耀的明星。问陈美云自认做对了什么，她说就是不怕人家笑。
一直包括到他大学。其实我周遭的朋友都在笑我说，你为什么给一个男孩子学学裁缝这类的东西？但是我觉得行行出状元，如果他活得很快乐，我想对我来讲，将来也是会减少很多负担。
陈美云也许嘴上不说，但脸上充满了对儿子的骄傲。但是吴继刚自己呢？
Been growing every season. I mean, we're really growing in a big way. You know, I'm launching a collection of eyeshadow with Shiseido and in Asia, and launching a collection of nail polish with creative nail design. I think it's always a dream come true. I mean, every day it's a dream come true to be able to do what I do. When I first moved to the States, I was got my first apartment. I told my mom, you know, there's no 车轮饼 in America. That's one thing you cannot get. And how do you buy a machine? So maybe I put it in my house and I can make it myself.
How about
it's a
design
little
one
machine.
for yourself? Every day is a dream come true. That's how you feel on a regular daily basis?
I do. I really feel like, you know, I am living the dream, and I feel like I'm very fortunate to be waking up every day to do something I wanted to do my entire life.
And with the enthusiasm, right?
Yeah, with a lot of enthusiasm. I mean, can't say it's always easy.
What did you find on the table?
Oh.
烧仙草. Did you have breakfast this morning? Besides this, we have 车轮饼. We hit it, right? 我们刚刚才加热的. You know, nowadays in Taiwan, 车轮饼 we have many different tastes inside. I think this 红豆加奶油.
Wow, this is new.
This is new. Yeah, you can
没有看过.
pack it after the interview. You
Okay.
can try, you know,
Okay.
whenever you want. I know
Thank
you
you.
bake apple pie.
Yes, yes.
So can you find recipe on the internet for 车轮饼? Then you can make for
Actually,
yourself.
One year, when I first moved to the States, I was got my first apartment. I told my mom, you know, there's no 车轮饼 in America. That's one thing you cannot get. And how do you buy a machine? So maybe I put it in my house and I can make it myself.
How about
it's a
design
little
one
machine.
for yourself? Okay.
So maybe I buy a machine and put it in my house one day.
Yeah. So, 台湾小吃, you had many chances recently to visit like night market or
Not
small
yet.
store.
Yeah, I hope I can. I mean, I haven't had time to go to the night market, but to me, the night market is one of the best experiences and best things about Taiwan, because it says so much about Taiwan. It's, you know, it's very personable and it's very unique, and it's got so much personality. And I think that's how I would describe Taiwan, is all of those elements. And to me, that's one of the things I remember the most and miss the most about Taiwan, is those little things, the little night market, little Taiwanese 小吃 kind of a thing. And you know, I think, you know, I think those are the things that I find, you know, that are very, very, very special about Taiwan.
And still you find there is still a connection between you and your homeland, right? All this
Yeah.
memory.
There's definitely
Precious
a connection.
memories. Did you have homesick? I mean, in the early time when you move away from Taiwan?
Yes, when I first immigrated to Canada, I was homesick all the time because
Wow, poor kid.
cultural shock. You know, very different culturally speaking. It's, you know, I was very not used to everything. But you know, I'm so fortunate that my parents allowed me to travel a lot when I was younger, because I think if I didn't do all that traveling, didn't live in all the places I lived, it would have been impossible to be a fashion designer. Because I think to be a fashion designer that's on an international stage, you have to have those experiences that, you know, that my predecessors have, which means, you know, the Yves Saint Laurent, you know, they traveled all over the place, all these great designers, European designers, American designers that I look up to. You know, they had these experiences, and I think having life experience is a very important thing for a fashion designer.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about, go back to 2006. That was the year you established your own brand.
Yes.
What was the most difficult part, or let's say the most unpredictable part in the time?
Everything was unpredictable. You know, everything was completely unpredictable because I started in my living room. And
In your living room?
Yeah. I didn't have an office in the beginning, so I, found a factory, made some clothes, and
It's like the founders of Microsoft starting their business in the garage.
Everybody has to start somewhere, and I had no employee, not a lot of experience, and I learned the business. I learned it from how to ship the stores for the first time, to how to work with UPS and how to work, the shipping labels, to how do I make, I knew how to make one dress, but I didn't know how to make the same dress 30 times over.
Mass production.
Production. It has to be consistent. Quality has to be the same across the board. How do I make that one vision come alive in many, many pieces? And that's something I had to learn. So every day was a new venture for me. Every day was a new task that I had to face. And every day I'm still learning something.
Yeah, one thing was very interesting, because back then you were still a student at a very young age.
Yes.
What is your age then? How old were you then when you started your own business?
I started 23, 24.
23, 24.
Yeah.
So how did you get to know the psychological side of the customers?
I didn't. I didn't know. I would be lying if I said I knew in the beginning. I didn't. I learned it, and I took a lot of work. I think nothing worthwhile comes easily, and I think it was a lot of hard work. I mean, there are times when I said to myself, I was like, maybe I don't have experience enough to do it, but I did it anyway. I just went in, if I needed to do something, what I learned is that if you're willing to try something, you're willing to do something, you can learn it. And I learned it. I learned the business because I had the passion for it.
Now you are a world-known stylist, entrepreneur, designer. Has the fame come as what you've been expected?
I didn't expect it. I think something that's very, very important to reiterate was that I didn't come to this business to become a famous person, because I think that would be the wrong angle, and that would be the wrong motivation to be a designer, because there's so many other things you can do to do that. I became a fashion designer because I was born a fashion designer, and that's what I always wanted to do.
How much has your life been changed since the inaugural night? I read an article saying that even the truck driver in New York City will roll down his window and recognize you, say, hey, are you the guys that designed for our first lady?
Yes.
So do you have to adjust yourself to the publicity?
Yes, I've learned a lot. I gone from only the fashion industry knew who I was to the world, even people not in fashion. And that's something that maybe doesn't happen very often, maybe once in a lifetime. And I've had to do a lot of adjustments. I mean, I've really become more mature, actually, because it's, under the tension and the spotlight, I really had to look at myself seriously and figure out what I'm trying to say in a bigger way. I mean, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what kind of clothing I was designing, but having all of this attention really forced me to even be more. It helped me learn more about myself, actually. So that was something that's very significant.
Yeah, with so much applause and attention around you all the time, Jason, how do you keep your feet on the ground?
By keeping my eyes on my work and nothing else. I don't even, I never watch a lot of TV things on myself, actually. And
Good for you.
I judge, I'm my own worst critic, so I don't really read a lot of the newspaper, and I want to concentrate on my work, and I want to be caught up by the attention, because I think it's important. And I'm not to say I'm not grateful. I'm very grateful that the media has been so lovingly, supportive of me and my work. But I really want my work to take center stage, not me.
Yeah, okay. So now let's take a look at the next story. We'll follow your mom's footstep to your home. That's where Jason was brought up. 让我们看一下他温暖的家。接下来我们就会谈一谈他跟他家人的亲密关系。欢迎欢迎！哇，天气很热哈。
爽朗个性的吴妈妈难得破例，让我们进入家里。这是吴继刚的童年。只是当吴妈妈开始介绍起家里摆设，这才发现，原来装潢是吴妈妈20年前的想法。原来吴继刚遗传了妈妈部分天分。
这个是我先生他们云林老家的一个梁上面的一些雕刻。那当时因为台风，结果整个房子倒了以后，这个娃娃我们把它拿回来，他们很可爱，精细到连牙齿都一颗一颗的都看得到。任何东西我都希望旧旧的感觉，而且带一点木头的感觉。
就是喜欢古朴感。这张店家泡过无数茶的老茶几，吴妈妈千方百计拿回家。我们发现家里的收藏品不见得都昂贵，但每一件都跟家人有关，特别是从小就收藏的吴继刚作品。
这个都是他自己一针一线做起来的东西。
现在对很多收藏家来讲，应该是无价之宝。
也没办法再做第二个了，因为这个很辛苦的。
原来吴继刚从小就喜欢为娃娃缝制衣服，而妈妈也完全支持他的兴趣。
你看他以前很认真，他这个头都梳得非常的漂亮。
这不会也是小学吧？
就在那段时间啊，这都同一段时间。对，那个时候已经大概6年级了。
才小学6年级就有这样的表现，就算现在看来都还是惊为天人。其实吴继刚在娃娃收藏界早在高中时期就已经是为人熟知的天才设计师。
裙子的皱是缝出来的，
对，是缝出来的，用手一针一线缝出来、抓出来的。你看他还要去找那个眼镜，然后还那样子那个衣服，他很喜欢很复古的东西。不晓得跟我喜欢旧货有没有关系，我不知道。我们现在能去看一看杰森的房间。
循着过去的影子，我们终于可以一窥这位年轻设计师成长的脉络。吴继刚从小就与众不同，他喜欢要妈妈带他到婚纱店门口，依着婚纱画葫芦。他也喜欢看评剧，因为要看主角旦角的服装线条。
不按牌理出牌的孩子，他是真的是这样子。
那你很头痛？
很头痛，真的很。
小时候的吴继刚虽然有艺术的天分，但成绩不好。妈妈翻出从小就收集的另一项宝贝，更令人惊喜。
我想大概1、2岁。
1、2岁。
对，他画给他爸爸，他说这个就是我的爸爸。那个时候他就懂得去拿毛线来做胡子，其实他的爸爸也没有留胡子。
还有这一张耶诞卡片，上头除了有自己的大头照和祝福之外，手绘的一条小虫，其实就是吴继刚的另一个支柱。
应该是我啦，这应该是我，对。对，应该是我吧，我猜。
笑声爽朗，吴继刚的哥哥有着另一股美国大男生的阳光。
我以前成绩那就有点丢脸，就是还不错，那98、90、100分都是成绩都不错。那如果考个95、6分，还会被着打。他说哥哥很笨，我呢70分，老师说不好；75分，老师说有进步；80分也不错。你看我从来都没有被打过，所以他从小时候那个开始就很跟一般的小孩子不太一样。
有着成绩很好的哥哥，对比上从小就不同的吴继刚，让吴妈妈很担心。终于决定带着2个小孩移民。那时候吴妈妈的生活在吴继刚画的卡片中就有了记录。
就是你看着电视睡着的样子。
对，而且有时候累了，那我有时候真的是被电视看，不是在看电视。他打扫家里，他开着他的车，然后去接送我们。然后我们上学以后，他就会去念书，念 ABC。
不太会英文的母亲带着2个孩子出国，辛苦可想而知。一切其实都只为了支持一个理念。
我只有一件事情做对了，就是我没有去阻止他往这条路上走。
小时候常听到这种事情啊。为什么小男生要去喜欢衣服呢？为什么你要去看婚纱？你为什么喜欢评剧？好奇怪！你怎么不去打球？你不去做什么？他就跟你讲，他不喜欢啊。他就让我觉得骄傲的地方就是在他的坚持的部分。 他从来没有因为 negative impact 的这些 comment 去阻挠他往他要当设计师这条路。
在我们一般房间，他也买不到那种所谓的专业的缝纫机喂娃娃的。一个袖子，翻起来也都没有大过于我们那个指头啊。他自己缝到有时候都会掉眼泪。
因为儿子要当设计师，吴妈妈规定他要会法文，高中就送到巴黎念书，期间还要到日本学习纸黏土，甚至在16岁就拿到了在日本的教授资格。
他到了收银这一块的时候，他有一点点退缩。老师说：“那你要做 designer 的话，你不能只会画而不会做，所以你必须通过这一关。”
在家人的支持下，从小被视为不乖乖念书的吴继刚，得到芭比娃娃设计大赏，进入设计名校，成了时尚设计圈的当红炸子鸡。可以这么说，没有家人，没有现在的吴继刚。
就是说 ，You're gonna go back home and take care of your parents, and you could go home and get married and have kids. 然后你回家照顾家业，就是这样。
你们在大学的时候就已经达成协议了
？Yeah, pretty much. 这是我们两个内定，跟我父母亲没有关系。
总是全家福的照片里，家人分工得很好，哥哥好好念书，弟弟专心设计，妈妈照顾小孩，父亲则是远在台湾全心工作，支持家人。
我弟就是不会说出来的人，他 sentimental， 他就是
sentimental， 他不说。
不说，我爸也不说啊，他也是做啊，哭也是自己一个哭啊。
没有我先生的支持，没有让我们从来没有忧虑，无后顾之忧，我们就是大胆的让孩子去学习。我觉得最要感谢的是我的先生，
很坚持，一定要谢谢丈夫。这是一个家里四处都有全家福照片，很不经意流露出的温暖。
几十年来，我都一直在怀疑我这样做对不对，可是一直到现在，我可以比较稍微肯定的说，并没有错，因为只要适合你孩子的个性跟环境，它都是对的。
She got snow tires for the first time, and then she, so nervous, drove me for 30 minutes. Let me take that lesson. And then, you know, it was that kind of dedication that allowed me to be the designer that I am today. I think I don't think without, I mean, I certainly can't take all.
Jason, when was the first time that your parents allow you to take the needle and do sewing?
The first time I wanted to. My mom, I was like, Mom, I want to know how to sew. And she bought me a sewing machine the next day.
Sewing machine?
Yeah. The only request she was that 不要把你的指头缝在一起. That was my mom's only request. Wow. That was not like don't do it. Not like you're a boy, don't sew or don't do that. Her only request is I'm gonna buy you a sewing machine. Just don't sew your fingers. Don't hurt yourself.
That's not easy for a mom because I have two boys. I could fully understand, you know, not
to
say no.
She hired a teacher to teach me how to sew.
Oh, really?
Just to make sure.
In Canada, right?
Yeah.
In Canada.
You know, I remember one year she didn't know how to drive in the snow because we don't have snow in Taiwan, and I had to go to my sewing lesson. At night? At night.
Oh.
Because I had to go to school in the daytime. So
just quit.
She got snow tires for the first time, and then she, so nervous, drove me for 30 minutes. Let me take that lesson. And then, you know, it was that kind of dedication that allowed me to be the designer that I am today. I think I don't think without, I mean, I certainly can't take all the credit.
It's a sacrifice. That's exactly the thing you would only do for someone you really loved. Right?
Yeah. And, you know, it was quite a, it was a sacrifice. I mean, such a sacrifice, I don't even know if I myself in one day could be capable of doing something like that for somebody else. It's that great, you know, and I think, you know, for that reason, I look up to my mother always.
Yeah, she's like just like what we chat before the interview, she's like your spokesperson here in Taiwan.
She's my best spokesperson.
Best spokesperson.
Yeah.
She knows you so well.
Yeah.
We saw those cute little cards that you made for your mom for different occasions.
I haven't seen
That's
those in so many
sweet.
years.
Oh, she keeps all the cards, all the drawings.
I know.
Yeah, I think they have how many albums at home?
I got a little emotional seeing all of that.
Yeah,
it
that's
was
so touching.
But I remember doing them. You know, I just don't remember them now. But then now I look at it again. I was like, I remember making that.
Yeah, looking at those cards.
I remember that mustache.
Oh, okay.
I think I cut it off my father's blanket or something.
By yourself?
I think I cut it off something.
Okay.
Else. I think I cut it off my father's.
So he found finally.
Yeah, I didn't have yarn lying around the house.
Okay. So looking at those cards, I'm wondering, are you the type of person that will never reluctant to reveal your gratitude and emotions in time?
I think, you know, being away from home for so long, I've become very independent. And I think that comes with the, you know, with the territory. And I think as I've gotten older, I've really looked back and looked at all these people that made these differences in my life and really learned to be completely grateful to the good fortune I've been given, and as well as the great people, the greatness that I've been fortunate to be, fortunately enough to be influenced by. I mean, you know, my parents are the greatest parents in the world.
Yeah. Jason, looking back, how does your ethnic background bring elements to your design?
A lot. I think not just from the design point of view. I mean, you know, if we look at the dress like that, I, you know, created all my prints pretty much. You know, every season, you know, just being a designer doesn't mean just making a dress. We have to also develop the textiles to go with it. So, you know, we work with 50+ mills in Italy and France to make the fabric. Because without fabric, you cannot make clothes.
Of course.
And the fabric has to say something. Your material should be as special as your design. You can't have one without the other. So, you know, I used to do the calligraphy in elementary school. I was very good at that. Maybe not so great at math.
Next time, show us your
I'll ask my mom. I'm sure she has it.
Okay.
But, you know, when I paint these things, make these prints, you know, there's a little bit of calligraphy in there, I think. And the other side of me that's very Chinese, I think, is really my work ethic. My work ethic is, well, I work all the time. And I'm devoted to my work, absolutely devoted to my work. And that, to me, was something that I grew up with. Not just only my family, but all the people around me. My aunt, my uncle, you know, you go to the market and, you know, the lady selling the vegetables, she's working from like 6 in the morning to 7 at night. These are some of the most hardworking people I've ever encountered, you know, and that doesn't mean just, you know, the finance people or just, you know, designers. It's everybody. Like, as a country, Taiwan is very hardworking. I mean, in a rainy day, you still see street vendors setting up, right? And that takes dedication. So I think in that way, in that sense, I applied that kind of work ethic to what I do. And that's why we've been able to accomplish so much in a short period of time.
Hardworking.
Yeah, I mean, relentless hard work.
Yeah, although you are away from home for so many years, we all know you still keep close relationship with parents, with families. Yes. How did you do that? I think because it's not usual among young generations today.
I sometimes think I could even be better. I just, you know.
You Skype with your parents like
I
every day?
haven't used Skype, I have to say. My mother emails. I think email is the best invention ever because it helps you keep in touch with your family in the best possible way. I mean, you know, it's email here and there is great.
Okay, so talk about your mom. Yeah, we already know that she will drive you to learn sewing in a snowy day in Canada, and it was her that insisted you to learn French. So I wonder, along the way, was there any time that you just doesn't want to follow her plan? Was there any?
Oh, never. I mean, I think I went against her the whole time. I can say that now because, you know, she's right. She was right all along. But, you know, if I was prouder, I may not have said that. But, you know, I have to give credit where credit is due. And I have to give the credit to my mother because she told me to do these things. You know, she's like, you have to, you know, I know you like drawing. You know, you have to go to France and learn French, and you have to just see more. And I applied, and I remember for the exchange school program, there were only two slots available in my school, because there was only 60 people in this program, so they picked 2 people from every school. And I applied, and I was like, I would never get in anyway, so I won't have to go. But then I got in, and then I was like, oh no, you know, and I begged my mom that I wouldn't have to go, and you know, she's like, you need to go because this is going to be good for you. You know, and at the time I didn't believe her. Now I believe her.
All the mom would like to hear Jason say so. Mom is always right.
Well, I have to say she was right. Mother is always right, I have to say, and yes. I may not have always recognized that, but I recognize it now.
How about when you decide not to complete a degree in Parsons School? Do you have a hard time to ask for her permission, or
difficult time. I mean, very, very difficult time. I mean, it was a decision I made.
For yourself?
For myself. I really wanted to have real working experience. I mean, really wanted to have, you know, to me, I've always been the person that thought outside of the box. I never wanted to do things by the books. So in that sense, I'm not traditional in so many ways. And I really felt like after 3 years in school, I really wanted to have some working experience. So I went to intern instead, and I wanted to get out in the world and have some life experience. And that's my decision. It goes against Chinese traditions and cultural traditions for sure. You know, my parents did give me a hard time for it. But, you know, they didn't pull me back home or anything. You know, they may not have agreed with everything I've done, but they let me do it.
Jason, you know, you already have many fans here in Taiwan. Now
more fans than I thought I had.
More fans than you saw, the customers or designers. Let's take a look at how they appreciate your design.
现在你可以看到我们3楼的空间呢，是以一个 travel 为主题的一个空间。
2季以前就慧眼独具引进吴继刚服装到台湾的陈怡说 ，Jason Wu 扎实而精致的手工感，还有优雅而经典的风格，正是征服纽约上城区名门淑女的最大原因。
就是他很喜欢用羽毛，像他每一季他都会有多多少少都会有用到羽毛。然后呢，他很喜欢用就是这种绣的这种亮片啊，然后或是蕾丝，因为我觉得他做的东西都是比较 feminine， 比较女性。
陈怡坦言，其实当初是因为喜欢收藏娃娃，才会看见Jason Wu的手工，于是专为台湾设计的娃娃也就此诞生。
因为这是他的 hometown， 所以我们在台湾也是第一个跟他讲，所以他就非常乐意，所以他说 OK， 他就也很。 就答应，就帮我们设计。
应该没人想得到，从小没放弃过的娃娃服装设计，不仅让他被台湾看见，也让另一位时尚界举足轻重的人看见了他。 电影里在时尚圈呼风唤雨的本尊，也就是美国版 Vogue 总编 Anna Wintour， 替吴继刚打开时尚界第一扇窗。
当时 Anna Wintour 他们这边会很有兴趣来帮他做一个专题报道的原因是，他们从来没有看过一个是从娃娃起家的人。
呼风唤雨代表性的人物啊，亲自给他那么多注意力，我认为是一个对一个年轻设计师来讲，他又是鼓励又是压力。
有人说吴继刚有很多贵人，有一对有胆识、肯信任的父母，还有全球时尚教母的赏识，无比幸运。但其实他自己努力，赢得了用钱买不到的礼物。
怎么样 design a designer？ 那你要 不只要设计你要设计的服装，你还要设计你的人脉。他这一点他从小就懂，我觉得这个很重要。
吴继刚曾对家人说，要走时尚圈，没有人脉就是条死路。他到纽约最多设计师聚会的夜店打工2年，就是要自己打通这个关节。
他喜欢哪个设计师，不管怎么样，他一定要当 intern， 所以他去那个 Narciso Rodriguez 那些比较Marc Jacob 的那些地方去实习。他很清楚，他要的就是学习的经验，因为他要自创品牌。
正因为他的夜店人脉，出生之读的第一本目录书由纽约知名摄影师操刀，费用几乎是半买半相送。将近3年后，穿着普拉达的恶魔给了他最如日中天的赞美。
这是2009年3月的美国封面，我们就看到这个Michelle奥巴马穿了 Jason Wu 的设计，
第一个版面出来以后，他就请人送了1本来给 Jason。说 Jason， 这个是我给你一个最大的礼物。
就像当年的服装秀一样，即便全球爆红，吴继刚仍然低调沉稳。最新一季的服装秀没有挑选更大的展场，而是始终如一。Runway 还在当初的小舞台，他要大家看到的是服装本身，而不是精彩的声光秀。
不是在谈谁的设计的漂亮或不漂亮，就是你对准的客户群，对准的生活形态，对得准不准。比如说夏姿走的是喜宴，但是台湾有这个喜宴的生活需求，所以它就有这个市场。所以为什么你说Jason Wu他在美国，他美国有这个穿晚礼服的机会。
他就是为什么他这么受，就是纽约上层那些名门淑女们的喜爱，就是因为他的设计就是非常让他们就是可以去参加很多这种场合，可以非常的时尚，
他是一丝不苟的。那就跟他的作品一样，大看也许你会觉得他就是经典嘛，很优雅。但是你如果有机会近距离翻开他的细节来看的话，他的精致度是绝对有的。
那他就也常常就用这种缎面，然后再加上一些可能一些 prints， 就会让它比较感觉比较不会这么的僵硬，就比较活泼，比较柔美一点。
I think these are the best ones.
Oh, that's great.
I think the last ones are better. I would just like make it all white.
多次采访吴继刚的黄威说，从接生物的成功就能看到，人脉和市场切入必然是亚裔设计魅力爆红之际，本土设计师最有利的舞台。
中国的这几年的从奥运到世博，相对的它吸引了全世界的注意力。想要走时尚行业的人，我觉得它是绝对是大好的机会。
学文创董事长徐丽玲更直指，因为被美国时尚界肯定的台湾之光出现，台湾本身更要积极让自己被看见。
我觉得台湾的那个政府为什么不叫他设计一个100年娃娃？这个不是就是国发基金要赶快做的事吗？
我也不知道怎么说，我对服装设计师可能是从小到大这是一直我的心愿，想当服装设计师，真人的服装设计师。
18岁拿下芭比娃娃大赛冠军时，他可能从没想过这么快，在短短的9年之后，吴继刚就能圆了5岁时许下的愿望，一位货真价实、有影响力的时尚设计师。
I think there are certain things that we want to keep on a slower pace, and I think making clothing that is classic and timeless is important to me because I don't want something that I make to be relevant for only a season. I want it to be relevant for a lifetime. I want it to be relevant after I'm gone, for 100 years.
Oh, Jason, your collections always show delicate design details.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the hallmarks of my collection is details. I mean, just from this, this piece from my resort collection, the delicate sequins, little pieces of organza, and the tulle, and the way it's finished inside.
And all these feathers, how you attach them
by
to
hand.
the fabric?
Everything's by hand. All of the embroidery is done by hand. There's the tulle that that we made in Paris, and it's about details.
So, are you a detail person?
Yes, I am. I think, if anything, details are what make up the final product. I mean, it's very important. I think it's always the small details that make the difference. It makes something from, good to great, just by seeing the details.
So I can say you are a perfectionist.
Yeah, but maybe not perfect enough.
Okay, then you can see a perfectionist will say things like that. Okay, you haven't designed for men, right? Is there any possibility in the future?
I think so. I mean, I think, I'm just beginning. I mean, in terms of my company, being only 4 years old, there's a world out there that we haven't even begun to tackle and begun to do. And there's so much I want to do. And, I'm happy to say that I have a lifetime to do it. So, there's so much more that I can and want to do.
Nowadays, the fashion are more and more into our lives. But at the same time, we always feel that how can we buy so many disposable things?
Yes.
So what's your advice for customers?
I think that's a great question, because it is a rather disposable culture we're in right now. Fast food, fast fashion. Everything's fast. And then you wear it today and tomorrow it's gone.
Yeah, we buy one little cute things and then we forget next week.
Yes, and you don't even care about it next week. Well, what I make isn't trend driven, I always say that. Because, maybe the price tag is higher, but it's made with the idea that it's something you can keep for a lifetime. And it's the kind of value that the old world designers used to have, and I think somewhat lost nowadays with the fast nature of our culture. I mean, media is fast. Everything's fast. The internet is so fast. Everything's in seconds, if not live. And I think there's certain things that we want to keep on a slower pace. And I think making clothing that is classic and timeless is important to me, because I don't want something that I make to be relevant for only a season. I want it to be relevant for a lifetime. I want it to be relevant after I'm gone, for 100 years. And, bringing that point back to the fact that my work is now in the Smithsonian is sort of the ultimate way of saying that.
Jason, my last question, if a young person standing here right in front of you today asking you, Jason, what should I prepare myself to become just like you someday? What would you say to him or her?
I would say that, it's all in how much work you want to put in. It's all in the dedication, and I don't think it's easy. I don't think anything is easy. I don't think being a designer is easy. I don't think being an accountant is easy, or, a computer engineer, all sorts of things. I think with all of these things, one thing to keep in mind is that hard work really does pay off.
Jason, thank you. Thank you for coming, for inspiring us so much.
Thank you.
Wish to see you more often and bring more and more your designs back to Taiwan. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.